we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
We're smoking crack now. April rubbed off on us.
Yeah,
Bad company corrupts good morals.
Speak for yourself. I never had good morals to begin with.
Well, yeah. You sounded like Mae West. Don't speak
Come
for
up and see me
yourself, baby.
Come up and see me sometime.
Well, it's better to be looked over than overlooked.
Come up and see me.
Alrighty. So, May 2nd.
You know she's going to edit something with Mae West.
Oh, I definitely am. I've already got ideas.
Just gotta get one of those with the rocking hip too.
Well, she's always rocking the hip.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. May 2nd, Saturday.
Yeah, not to be confused with Mae West,
right.
which was the first.
All right. Okay. Instead of referring a matter to a committee, the Assembly may establish a number of breakout groups, with every member urged to participate in a group. The group's conclusions are reported, A, to the to the Assembly for a final decision, B, through a moderator directly to the Assembly, C, conveyed to a committee that assembles them and reports and attempts to report to the Assembly. D, all the above are correct.
What?
I know, I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay, let's start that over and redo that, because that doesn't make any freaking sense at all.
Instead of referring a matter to a committee,
yes,
the Assembly...
That's only part of the sentence, the question that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
The Assembly may establish a number of breakout groups, with every member urged to participate in a group. The group's conclusions are reported, A, to the Assembly for the final decision, B, through a moderator directly to the Assembly, C, conveyed to a committee that assembles them and attempts to report to the Assembly, D, all of the above are correct. And it's Henry M. Roberts' birthday today.
Happy birthday, you crazy son of a bitch. Anyway, give me A again one more time.
But it's General Roberts' birthday.
Okay. So what? What?
It's better than Labor Day in Singapore. No offense to Singapore.
I think you should go to Singapore and get caned for coming up with some of these
don't do drugs in Singapore.
Nonsense.
You get freaking executed.
Yeah.
All right. A.
Give me A again.
To the Assembly for the final decision.
I'm going to call it that because that seems to make the most sense.
Okay.
The rest of them are like, what?
Oh my God. It's not A.
It's not A?
Think of the most ridiculous answer.
No,
the most ridiculous answer is all of the above are correct, even though they seem completely...
What? No.
I think May's...
Yeah, I take it from Ray. I look at it. It's upside down. Hello.
And then when you turn it to you, then you like went to, yeah.
Actually, no, it makes more sense upside down.
Yeah. All of they seem mutually exclusive. If you're going to report it to the Assembly directly, then why would you convey it to...
through a moderator.
Or the committee.
Or through a committee.
Those are different.
Why do you need the flipping middleman?
It's different. It's like, what's the difference between a duck? It's just like that.
Yeah.
You know the answer, right?
Hey Siri, what's the difference between a duck?
One leg is both the same.
Folks, these quackers. Remember, birds aren't real, remember?
They're not.
So ducks aren't real.
Well, they're not really ducks, as we see. It doesn't mean that they're not like something out there, but they're not really birds. They're spies. They're really spies. They're just not really birds.
Okay. Anyway.
But let's see.
Let's figure out what the hell they're actually talking about here.
It starts on 541 at the end of the page and continues to 542 at the beginning, which means it actually starts much earlier, I'm sure, in 541.
Aids to the crystallization of opinion.
What the fuck?
That's what the section is titled.
We're going to crystallize.
Ace of the sounds like a chemistry experiment gone wrong.
Okay, we'll read it. There's shit in this book that I never noticed.
I think the emphasis is the word shit.
Yeah. The more traditional aids to the crystallization of opinion in societies have been simply to take a recess or to refer the matter to a committee, often a large committee, composed of members representing different views in the society, such as a committee of the whole or one of its alternate forms.
Hold it. The more traditional aids are the crystallization of opinion. Tip.
Yes.
How absurd of a wordings can you get?
In more recent years, a practice has developed of establishing breakout groups with every member in attendance being urged to participate in a group. Each breakout group, of which there may be many, is usually kept small, frequently 10 or 12 persons, and a moderator is appointed for each group. Often the groups meet during a recess or adjournment of the assembly.
Wait a second. Who brings the coffee and donuts? Because we are talking coffee clatches here, basically.
Yeah, basically. Or little tea circles. Often the groups meet...
Then who brings the doilies?
No idea. The sergeant at arms.
The crumpets.
What is a crumpet?
The biscuit.
Oh, okay. Often the groups meet during a recess or adjournment of the assembly. Sometimes the conclusions reached by the various breakout groups are conveyed to a committee that assembles them and attempts to report a consolidated response to the committee, to the assembly.
Keyword being attempts.
Right. At other times, the breakout groups report through their moderators directly to the assembly.
No, okay. The question said through a moderator directly to the assembly.
Yeah, it says that.
The way it's worded in the question, it makes it sound like the assembly has one dude,
right,
who's a moderator, who takes all that information and tries to consolidate it down.
Right, because it says the group's plural conclusions through moderator, singular.
Right, not through their moderators, which would then make sense. Yeah.
It needs a modium, so it isn't so shitty.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that we don't ever do that.
I never heard of it till I read this question.
Me either. Though I've had people suggest something like this in platform committee, and I'm like, no, everyone wants to talk about everything. We're not gonna, And I was like, no, because y'all are gonna do something on the side, and then everyone's gonna bitch about not being involved, even though they didn't want to be involved at first, but then they will want to be.
Right, you can't win for losing on that.
Right, no, better not to even go there. Maybe some affiliates can get away with that, but not the National Platform Committee.
Yeah.
And Colorado certainly couldn't either.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. You wind up doing something like that in Colorado. You're going to wind up with 3 or 4 groups, one of which is going to be a grand total of 3. The other one's going to be a grand total of 30. And the next thing you know, we're not discussing issues. We're playing dodgeball.
Yeah. And then everyone's going to end up talking about it anyway. So it's smaller.
And then bitching about the other group and how they don't serve the interests of the party and they're obstructing everything. And it's not going to accomplish a damn thing.
Yeah. But anyway, done. Put a fork in it. Done. My, what a big gavel you have.
Ooh, baby. And I know how to use it properly, too.
Fever! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.